Well, as a child, I was always interested in the outdoors, hiking, fishing, exploring the forest. And as I grew older and entered into high school, I better understood the water cycle, the importance of water, the role it played to protect human health and the environment. And I just naturally gravitated towards engineering with my interest in math and the sciences and how science specifically helps us understand how things work. And ended up with a civil engineering degree and with an emphasis in water and wastewater treatment. Um, I don't think it was a conscious influence, but my dad also played in this space as a civil engineer in wastewater treatment. So at an early age, I understood what wastewater treatment was and realized the importance.
Back in high school, I enjoyed math and science, which led me to pursue a degree in engineering. As a freshman, I became interested in environmental engineering and eventually received my Bachelor of Science degree. When graduating from college, I applied to many types of companies in various industries, but the company specializing in design and manufacturing of treatment equipment is where I was able to start. And after 30 years in the same industry, this is where I eventually finished my career.
I started working at Enviromix right after graduating from college, and I've learned to appreciate it ever since. And water and wastewater will always be a major industry, and it's important for us to work together to improve as technology advances.
So my background is in civil engineering, and I was always fascinated with water even before going to college. And then I took some more water-focused classes during my bachelor's degree years, and I found it very interesting. And then I wanted to focus more on water and wastewater treatment in masters, and I still find it interesting. I don't think it gets enough attention and credit from the general public. It doesn't get enough public education, to be honest. I feel like so it's a very interesting field. It's rewarding to be part of it, and hopefully it continues to be that way.
I've been in the wastewater industry about 20 years already, and my career actually started in the mining industry, working on control systems for large mining equipment, and that was a short-lived portion of my career, partly because the mining industry is very volatile. And so I started looking, and that's when I landed at a wastewater company. And really the nice part about wastewater is that there's always a need. If the need doesn't go away. So it's a fairly consistent level of work that just keeps coming, and it gives you a good sense of job security.
So my previous job was at a water engineering nonprofit, and the work was completely different, but that water engineering connection is what brought me to Enviromix. And so this is my first job in the wastewater industry. And I feel like I've learned a lot, but there's so much left to learn. So I'm very grateful to work with such an experienced team.
So I knew nothing about the wastewater industry prior to working here, but in saying that, it has been very eye-opening to learn about an industry that I've kind of taken for granted, in my life. Obviously it's a necessity, but just learning about the ins and the outs of something that I really didn't really know existed or even really put any thought into.
Interest in the wastewater industry. So I'd say my start was really in environmental engineering and environmental stewardship. And then from there through my university and my classes, as well as some internships that I did, I got into the industry and really just stuck. It's always changing and always, becoming more interesting with everything I learn.
To be honest, I didn't even really know it existed. I would say as a career, I just kind of fell into it. I graduated from Michigan Tech with an environmental engineering degree. It's 1996, job market wasn't great. I was actually moving furniture with an engineering degree. And I got an interview with a company that was in the wastewater industry through a family connection and kind of never looked back.
Oh, well, that's a long story. I'll just say that it involved the design of a greenhouse on Mars and the need for a water recovery system for both the inhabitants that'll live on the greenhouse on Mars and all the plants that are inside. It was a life-changing moment for me.